Hello everyone, welcome to Equal To, and this is the third video of our Matter in Our Surroundings playlist. And if you haven't watched the previous two videos, please go and watch them. I'll give them a link. And in this video, we are going to solve the in-text questions in this chapter, right? And this is the first set, and this is the first question of that, which is which of the following are matter. So they have given a list of things, and you have to find which of them are actually matter. Right, we'll go this one by one. The first thing is chair. So as you have seen already, you would have probably seen, right? If you haven't, please go and watch it. And the thing that defines a matter is that if something occupies space and has mass, right? If it has volume and mass, you call it matter, right? A chair definitely occupies some space in a room, right? It obviously has some volume, and when you try to lift it, you can feel its weight. So it obviously has some mass as well. So since a chair has both volume and mass, you can say that it is matter, right? So chair is matter. The second one is air. Does air has volume? Yes, air has volume, and it occupies space, right? Like obviously your room is filled with air, so it occupies space, and it has volume, like, and it has some mass. You'll probably not be able to feel it, but it has mass for sure, right? So it is matter as well. And the next thing is love. Does love occupy space or mass? Like, it's an abstract thing, right? You cannot touch it, you cannot feel it. So feel it in the sense, feeling it physically. Okay, not the emotional stuff, right? So it is not a matter, right? And the next thing is smell. You can sense it, but you cannot feel it, so it's not matter as well. And the next thing is hate. Hate is just a feeling, right? It doesn't come under matter. The next thing is almonds. Almonds have volume, right? Obviously. And almond has mass as well, so it is matter. And the next thing is thought. Again, these questions are absurd, right? You would mostly probably get the hang of it from the theory that we have already seen. If not, at least from the first three examples, you would have gotten the hang of it. Anyways, we'll go through it. Thought is obviously not matter, right? Thought doesn't occupy space, it doesn't have any mass, so it's not matter. And the next thing is cold. Obviously, it is something that you feel, it is not matter. The next thing is cold drink. Obviously, it is matter because it has some volume and mass, right? So it's matter. And the next thing is smell of perfume. Perfume is a matter, but the smell of perfume, it's not matter, right? So this was the first question. Moving on to the second questions. Give reasons for the following observation. The smell of hot sizzling food reaches you several meters away, but to get the smell of cold food, you have to go close. And you have to tell the reason for this, right? We have seen in the previous video that in the incense stick example, right? When the incense stick was not lit, you have to sniff at it. You have to bring it close to your nose to smell it. But when the incense stick was lit, you could smell it from across the room, right? So that was the thing, and that is the same concept that we are going to use here as well. So kinetic energy. The particles of matter, they possess kinetic energy, and the rate of diffusion determines how fast the smell reaches you. As the kinetic energy increases, the rate of diffusion also increases, and kinetic energy obviously increases with temperature, right? And that is how the hot sizzling food, the smell of it reaches you quickly rather than the one taken out of the fridge, right? Again, if you're not clear with these concepts, please go and watch the previous video. We have talked in detail about this there. Okay, moving on to the next question. A diver is able to cut through water in a swimming pool. Which property of matter does this observation show? Okay, so a diver, he's diving into the pool, and while diving, he tears through water and gets inside, right? So what properties of matter does this show? Particles of water have intermolecular space. So this is something that we have seen from first video, right? So what exactly is that? Particles of matter, they have spaces in between them, right? We saw it from the salt in water experiment, right? Salt was able to get inside the particles of water. So particles of water have spaces in between them, and there is less force of attraction in the particles of water. Okay, that is the reason why he is able to dive easily. Like if he tries this on regular ground, right, he would break his limbs, right? He would not be able to tear through it, because the particles of attraction, the force of attraction between the particles are highly, or it's very high, right? Very attractive. Let us say concrete, right? The particles have high attraction, so you wouldn't be able to tear through it with your bare body, right? So the particles of water have spaces in between them is one thing, and the other one is that the force is less. That is how he is able to tear through water. Now here comes the next question. What are the characteristics of particles of matter? And again, we have discussed this already. Particles of matter have intermolecular space. Particles of matter have spaces in between them, and that is what they call intermolecular space. And they have intermolecular force as well. These particles, they attract each other. Okay. So these particles, they attract each other, right? They have intermolecular force in between them, and particles are moving continuously. Okay. In the case of incense stick example, the smell, like the aroma was going, right? And in case of Dettol as well. Okay. So the particles, these are moving continuously, and they possess something called kinetic energy, which increases with temperature, and as the kinetic energy increases, the rate of diffusion increases. And these are the characteristics of particles. They have intermolecular space, they have intermolecular force, and they are constantly moving. And these are the questions, in-text questions for the theory topics that we have discussed as of now. If you have any doubts in what we have discussed now, please let me know in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And again, if you have any suggestions, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you on the next one. Bye for now.